Thinking of moving to Malaysia? Do not apply for a visa until you know the hidden cost behind PVIP and the new MM2H. Foreigners in Malaysia, Episode 4. Selamat datang. I'm Brian, 10 years foreign in Malaysia, researching the property maze for myself, sharing what I find, one episode at a time. Here's a question that decides everything else. Do you want to live in Malaysia or live and work here? It sounds small, it isn't. Pick the wrong visa, and you can't simply undo it. So before deposits, before fees, let's get this one right. First, one question, two visas. Strip away every detail, and this comes down to a single decision. Same country, but two completely different doors. On one side, MM2H, a visa to live here. It's a long-stay residence pass, built for retirees and second home owners. It does not let you work. It requires you to buy a property, and it asks for a 90-day minimum stay every year. On the other side, PVIP, the Premium Visa Program, a visa to live and work, built for people who want to earn here, work, run a business, study, all allowed. Buying property is optional, and there's no minimum stay at all. Match the visa to what you actually plan to do in Malaysia. Second, the two programs, head-to-head. Let's put them side by side. The lines that actually decide it. Entry deposit. PVIP asks for a fixed deposit of 1 million ringgit, and half of that becomes withdrawable after 1 year. MM2H is tier-based, anywhere from 65,000 to 1 million US dollars, depending on whether you're S, EZID, Silver, Gold, or Platinum. Property purchase. For PVIP, is optional. Buy if you want to, is not a condition. For MM2H, it's mandatory, required on every single tier. Right to work. PVIP, yes. Employment, business, and study are all allowed. MM2H, no. It's long stay only. You'd need a separate work pass, minimum stay. PVIP has none. You can split your year across countries freely. MM2H asks for 90 days a year. Fall short and you risk the visa. Visa length. PVIP is a flat 20 years, renewable. MM2H runs 5 to 20 years, depending on tier. Minimum age. PVIP has none, open to any age. MM2. H sets a floor of 21 to 25, again by tier. And one warning that applies to both. They each still pay the 8% foreign stamp duty on property. Neither visa lowers it. Third, PVIP, up close. Here's what makes PVIP simple. One program, no tiers, there's nothing to pick wrong. You qualify on offshore income and a fixed deposit, pay a one-time participation fee. And the visa runs for 20 years, renewable. The numbers. You need offshore income of 40,000 ringgit a month. That's 480,000 ringgit a year. A fixed deposit of 1 million ringgit. And a participation fee of 200,000 ringgit for the main applicant, plus 100,000 per dependent. No minimum stay. And unlike MM2H, no age restriction at all. Processing usually takes 3 to 4 months. Now, the part most people miss about that 1 million ringgit deposit. It isn't gone. You place 1 million ringgit as a fixed deposit in an approved Malaysian bank once you're approved. After 12 months, the lock-in period passes and withdrawal becomes available. At that point, you may withdraw up to half 500,000 ringgit for property, healthcare, or your children's education. But budget honestly. The 200,000 ringgit participation fee is a true cost. It does not come back. The deposit mostly does. And if you were going to buy a home in Malaysia anyway, that recoverable half simply becomes part of your down payment. So what does PVIP actually unlock? 6 things. And this is the list MM2H cannot match. 1. You can work as an employee. Take a salaried job, no separate employment pass needed. 2. You can run a business. Start or operate a Malaysian company and invest commercially. 3. You can study. Enroll in education here under the same visa. 4. You can buy property at the normal state price thresholds. Optional, not required. 5. You can bring your family. Residency extends to your spouse, your children, and your parents. And 6. The one people love most, no minimum stay. Live here full-time or split your year across countries. The visa holds. Fourth, MM2H, the 30-second recap. Let me just provide a quick refresher from episode 3, so the comparison stays fair. But if you want to watch episode 3 again, please visit my channel or I'll bookmark it under the comment for you. Since the 2024 reform, MM2H is split into 4 tiers, and the deposit scales up with the visa length. SEZ, 65,000 US dollars, a 10-year visa, 600,000 ringgit of property. Silver, $150,000, a 5-year visa, the same 600,000 in property. Gold, $500,000, a 15-year visa, 1 million in property. And platinum, $1 million, a 20-year visa, 2 million in property. But here's the line that matters for today. Every MM2H tier requires a property purchase, and none of them let you work. The full breakdown is in episode 3. Fifth, the trap nobody ever mentions. Here's something almost no one tells you. The right to work has a tax bill attached. The moment you actually work in Malaysia, that income is Malaysian sourced, and Malaysia taxes it. What triggers it? Spending more than 182 days in Malaysia in a calendar year. Cross that line and you become a Malaysian tax resident, taxed on a progressive scale up to 30% on the income you earn here. Now, why does MM2H mostly avoid this? Because MM2H holders don't work. Their income usually stays foreign source. The very thing PVIP unlocks is the thing that creates the tax exposure. This isn't a reason to avoid PVIP, it's a reason to budget for it. Speak to a Malaysian tax advisor before you sign. Rules on foreign income remitted to Malaysia are treated separately, and they're under review. 6. Until this point, you may start questioning which one fits you. Here's how I think it through based on my own experience. Find the line that describes you and pick the visa on the right. If you need to work or run a business in Malaysia, that's PVIP, no question. If you split your time across countries and can't commit to 90 days a year here, also PVIP because of the minimum stay. If you're retired, won't be working, and want the lowest entry cost, that's MM2H, the SEZ tier. If you want your residency tied to a property you were going to buy anyway, MM2H fits naturally. And if you don't want to lock up property capital at all, and you don't need to work, look at Sarawak's SMM2H. We covered it in episode 3. No property purchase required, and it even allows limited part-time work within Sarawak. Let's make it real by looking at the 3 examples. And you may find 3 different answers for each case. Maya, a mid-career executive relocating to Kuala Lumpur for a regional manager role. She needs to be employed legally from day 1. MM2H would block the job offer outright. For Maya, PVIP is the only fit, unless her company might want to sponsor her with an EP. David, retiring at 58, moving to the coast, buying a condo, no intention of working. He'll buy property anyway. So the requirement becomes an asset, not a cost. David's answer, MM2H, Go or SEZ. And Lena, an online business owner who splits her year between 3 countries. She can't promise 90 days anywhere. So minimum stay decides it. For Lena, PVIP with no minimum stay. If you remember one thing from this episode, make it this. Before you compare deposits, fees, or visa lengths, ask yourself one question. Do you need to work in Malaysia? If yes, PVIP. If no, MM2H. Everything else is just detail. That's PVIP versus MM2H. One lets you live here, one lets you live and work. Get that single question right, and the rest of the decision falls into place. Next episode, RPGT, the tax that never quite reaches zero. What every foreign owner pays when they sell. If this helped, subscribe. And tell me your situation in the comments. I'll point you toward the right pathway. Stay curious, stay careful. Brian out. See you in the next video.